Caitlin Clark's stellar career with the Iowa Hawkeyes helped her gain publicity. Because of her high-scoring performances, great three-point shooting, and keen court vision, she broke records and raised the interest of basketball fans nationwide. She became well known as the ambassador for collegiate women's basketball in addition to being an outstanding athlete. Her appearances often attracted large TV audiences, sold-out arenas, and even higher attendance numbers for a few NBA games. Caitlin had already broken the NCAA all-time scoring records for both men and women by the time she had gained international recognition by the time she joined the WNBA draft in 2024. She's among the best. One of the most promising players in women's basketball history was chosen by the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark, a first-generation women's basketball player, was the most sought-after endorsement target due to her remarkable popularity and performance. Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, and Puma was among the major shoe companies who participated. The company pursued her with agreements, worth millions of dollars, viewing her as a long-term global ambassador who could increase income and awareness in the women's sports industry. In addition to being an exceptional athlete, according to reports, Aroa made a compelling offer of $16 million spread over 4 years in exchange for a trademark shoe. Adidas also offered a similar offer, which included a prototype sneaker year and $6 million spread over 4 years. Puma was in a race at first, but the bidding intensified as the financial stakes rose. They eventually withdrew. In the end, Nike offered Caitlin Clark an incredible 8-year contract for $28 million to complete the partnership, making it one of the biggest sponsorships for individual athletes in women's sports. Signature sneakers were a part of the agreement in basketball history. When Caitlin signed her first Nike contract in 1984, the sports marketing business underwent a transformation. He was given a deal that paid him a sizable sum of money in addition to royalties from each pair of sold Air Jordans. This agreement set the standard for granting athletes greater control over their merchandise and brand and helped Air Jordan achieve multi-billion-dollar success. Although there are some significant distinctions, Caitlin's agreement is similar to theirs. According to reports, Clark's contract does not include royalties on shoe sales like Jordan's does, but Jordanian faith in Clark's marketability and long-lasting influence is demonstrated by the agreement's overall size and the inclusion of a unique shoe. Former Nike executive Sonny Vaccaro played a significant part in the introduction. While applauding Caitlin Clark's achievements in the 1980s, Michael Jordan chastised Nike for not treating her the same as Jordan. He openly declared that Clark ought to have been compensated with royalties or brand equity. Vaccaro claims that since Caitlin has already demonstrated her ability to draw a lot of attention and increase sales, Nike lost the chance to treat her as more than a high-value athlete. Like they did with Jordan, they could have turned Jordan into a genuine business partner. Caitlin Clark's Nike the contract is about more than simply her achievements. For women's sports in generally, it represents a significant advancement. Despite the fact that their popularity and performances have either met or surpassed expectations, female athletes have always been acknowledged. Compared to their male colleagues, they received far less support and media attention. That dynamic is changing. By Clark's consent, Nike is starting to recognize women's sports as equally viable and desirable, as evidenced by their readiness to create a distinctive shoe especially for a female athlete and work out a long-term lucrative deal with her. The decision has been hailed by fans, athletes, and proponents of gender equality in sports as evidence that professional athletes are becoming more respected. Meanwhile, the agreement has spurred fresh conversations, explains the difference in pay between male and female athletes. Caitlin Clark's starting WNBA salary of about $76,000 is far less than her annual Nike contract. There has been criticism of this disparity. This led to more extensive discussions regarding the demands and pay of female professional athletes to media agreements and the ultra-league frameworks in order to foster their expansion. The sports marketing agreement. Experts claim that Caitlin Clark's contract is revolutionary in terms of the brand's potential and commercial value. Many saw it as a new standard for female athletes. Because of her broad appeal, popularity, and crossover appeal, She is the perfect spokeswoman for Nike and the future of women's basketball. According to analysts, this collaboration will inspire other businesses to invest more in women's sports, allowing more female athletes to land long-term contracts and sponsorships. Some have pointed out that Caitlyn's contract's terms, especially the absence of royalties, might change in subsequent agreements. More fair types of athlete compensation, such as equity stakes and income sharing, are anticipated to become the standard. Instead of being a fleeting endorsement, women's sports continue to expand and generate revenue. Caitlyn's long-term deal and early publicity are further indications of Nike's confidence in her career path. She will be an important part of Nike's marketing strategy for Avery long time due to her 8-year deal. This includes possible contributions to global basketball campaigns, Olympic commercials, and more general lifestyle branding. The potential for a branded footwear deal is one of the most intriguing aspects of Caitlin Clark's Nike. This is a unique honor that shows young athletes, even professional athletes, particularly girls, that playing sports is both profitable and socially acceptable. Nike claims that the sneaker is presently under development, although no release date has been announced. This will be the first signature. The women's basketball shoe is one of the few in history to make a big effect when it first appears. Girls who grew up watching Caitlin Clark will now have the chance to wear shoes that are built to order by one of the participating athletes. Has their appearance and leads with confidence and poise, just like them. This product is more than just shoes. It represents advancement. For many years, young male players have worn trainers made by their idols, such as Air Jordans, Kobe's, and LeBron James. Young female athletes will now be able to follow. Future generations' perceptions of their role in sports may likewise be impacted by this cultural change. The story of Caitlin Clark's Nike deal serves as a compelling example of how brilliance, persistence, and shifting perspectives on women in athletics can lead to groundbreaking accomplishments. A contrived moment was not necessary for Clark. Her work on the court and her $28 million contract with Nike was the main draw. Currently, athlete endorsements are evidence that the women's sports industry is expanding and that athletes such as her should be treated with the same respect and benefits as their male counterparts. They are now achievable thanks in part to Michael Jordan's legacy. In light of this, Caitlin Clark is now creating something new. Despite not knowing the specifics of Jordan's historic deal, she is now a significant figure in the next generation because of her fame, influence, and potential in sports marketing. This is not only a personal triumph for women's basketball, it's a significant societal shift and a clear indication that the game has evolved. Please give this video a thumbs up and share it with others. You should watch this sporting event if you thought it was inspirational or educational. Leave a comment with your ideas. Diodo, you believe that Caitlin's contract marks the start of an era in women's basketball? Past. Remember to hit the notification bell and subscribe to make sure you never miss our in-depth analysis of the most important sports and culture stories. We appreciate your viewing and look forward to seeing you again soon.